Okay, so I will switch into English now. I think it will be easier to show all the examples and to describe what's going on in everyday medical practice using artificial intelligence. And starting from the history, let's assume that we understand the intelligence as the ability to deal with the new situation without previous experience. So in 1936, probably you all know the history, but it's like the entrance to the history of AI in healthcare. So in 1936, Turing, together with his Princeton colleague, Alonzo Church, published on computable numbers with an application to the Entscheidungs problem. So he showed that there is no single algorithm that infallibly gives yes or no answer to each instance of the problem. Then in 1943, we have the first model of brain neuronal interactions using a simple neural network maze of electric circuits. In 1950, there was the first attempt to use hypothetical artificial neural network by Nathaniel Rochester to do the first computer research. Actually, the attempt failed, but it opened the wide spectrum of new possibilities. And in 1964, there is the start of third longest American running game show, Jeopardy! And in 2011, there was the IBM challenge that featured IBM's Watson that faced against two people. And actually, it was the first man versus machine competition in Jeopardy's history that was won by a computer. And Watson won $1 million. And it was divided between two charities. So we have a great opening to actually use of artificial intelligence in everyday healthcare. And how it looks in healthcare. We start with 2014 with medical chatbots. Then we can go to 2015. So actually, it's really fresh history where we can predict toxicity of new drugs. So it's the drug design by University of Toronto plus Google that models based on deep neural networks that outperform previously used model for prediction of compounds activity against a given target. Then 2016, we have analysis of histology images. I will show that more deeply on the next slide. So the analysis of images to detect, for example, skin or breast cancers. In 2017, there is the first FDA approved diagnostic test that actually AI outperformed human level performance. And now in 2018, we have the broad spectrum of AI approach to mutation gene track relationship with the convolution, which gives us a huge potential for new diagnostics, new therapies. So the future belongs actually to AI, and probably there is already the first AI-assisted clinical candidate. So in the future, we will have probably AI-assisted treatments available. But there are problems with that. In 2016, Time published a study. The study was performed in United States, and people in the United States declared that 54% of them have never interacted with AI-based system, and they are uncomfortable sharing financial data with them. So there is the problem how to deal with people's trust in healthcare. Nevertheless, we already have 100 106 startups that are using artificial intelligence in the healthcare, starting from patient data risk analysis, research to actually dealing with patients, so wearables, virtual assistants. I will show in the next slides examples of that. And to show how the Python performs here, there are Python-based startups. So, for example, ROAM Analytics, that its artificial intelligence platform uses Flask, Django, machine learning, NLP. AI Cure, the application that automates the process of ensuring that patients are taking their medicine at the appropriate time. Dr. Chrono, it's electronic health records and management platform. Cuventus, machine learning-based forecasting techniques that enables hospitals to predict patients' volumes and optimally allocate resources, and more and more out there. Those companies in 2017 in December were looking actually for Python developers, so programmers, to deal with health problems. But let's go to examples of how it looks actually in the healthcare. So starting from diagnostics. First of all, cancer diagnosis and classification. So gene chips are widely used to detect cancer cell expression. Actually, it's really hard for people to analyze those data, as chips are holding diagnostic probes for 20,000 to 50,000 genetic features. The data is noisy. There are experimental limitations that reduce clinical utility. And here, deep learning addresses this by reducing data diversity and apply layered auto-train neural networks to achieve more accurate cancer detection and classification. Another example that I meant forward is cancer diagnosis and classification. On the right, you have basal cell carcinoma cancer, that histopathology of skin images was analyzed using deep learning architecture, visual pattern analysis, and to differentiate malignant from benign lesions, and it outperformed prior automated analysis and achieved accuracy of almost 90% compared with experts. And on the left hand, you have invasive breast cancer. Also, detection by neural networks. Here, it was convolutional neural network that detected presence or absence of invasive tumor on whole slide images. So it's happening. It's not taking a job from doctors. It's helping doctors to focus on patient, not the analysis itself. Then Google DeepMind Health Project. Probably you heard about the DeepMind project. A nice title. So an AI for an eye. At the moment, eye health professionals rely on digital scans of the eye to diagnose and determine the correct treatment for common eye conditions such as age-related macular degeneration and diabetic retinopathy. And these scans are highly, and traditional analysis tools have been unable to explore them fully. It also takes eye health professionals a long time to analyze eye scans, which can have an impact on how quickly they can meet patients to discuss diagnosis and treatment. And here, the 2 years collaboration with Moorfield Eye Hospital in London led to the development of artificial intelligence tools that can diagnose eye diseases by analyzing those medical images. Next, image recognition. It's IBM Medical Sieve, a cognitive assistant. It's a project to build a next generation cognitive assistant with analytical and reasoning capabilities and a wide range of clinical knowledge. Medical Sieve is qualified to assist in clinical decisions making in radiology and cardiology. Is able to analyze radiology images to spot and detect problems faster and more reliable. So as you can see, in the diagnostics is already happening. And what about the treatment? So also with the imaging, so planning, for example, radiotherapy. For head and neck cancers, it is particularly difficult to treat cancers according to the high number of delicate structures and nerves concentrated in those areas. Segmentation process used here is extremely demanding. A project is focused on the investigation whether machine learning speed up the process while maintaining its accuracy. So it's also DeepMind health project. Another project is the chronic disease management. There are different problems here, starting from diabetes care and outcomes to congestive heart failure. With the first one, it's also with the photographs, where 2 deep learning systems were trained to detect in right diabetic retinopathy and macular edema, and it achieved really high specificities and sensitivities for detecting those problems. Another image recognition was to predict major depressive disorders with the analysis of magnetic resonance image mapping of white matter. So it was also able to help to diagnose, for example, depression. And the last example here is really important because where in some cases the patients could not benefit from therapies because it failed to show survival benefits in clinical trial cohorts. AI helped to show that actually those individuals could benefit from the therapy. So it's a life-saving solution. Another thing here is AI in drug discovery. It's actually here, it's one of our projects at Ardigen. So AI in drug development process. So starting from the target identification. So first of all, using machine learning to stratify the cohorts, using new biomarkers to deconvolute mutations, gene drug effect, deep learning used for systems biology and biological network analysis, also natural language processing for scientific publications, knowledge extractions, mode of action analysis for target validation of target identification and drug similarity assessment. And moving on, we actually are developing new solutions for heat generation, heat to lead, and lead optimization. So it's the process of drug discovery that can help to find new, better structures, molecules that could be used as potential drugs. And also AI can support here patient stratification to give better drug response. Also with the drug development, there is the experiment, well, maybe not experiment, the whole project launched by Atomwise, where deep learning is used as a technology for novel small molecule discovery. And Atomwise launched a virtual search for safe existing medicines, so not new medicines, but already existing medicines, so repurposing of drugs that could be redesigned to treat the Ebola virus. They discovered a drug candidate with no previous antiviral applications that block Ebola infectivity across virus strands from multiple epidemics. Another great project that could be used in treatment. Mentioned before, natural language processing could be used also for research and development in medical in life sciences. Actually, we are here also developing its artificial intelligence knowledge extraction tool, so ICA, based on natural language processing system. There are thousands of publications coming out every month that are dedicated, for example, to oncology, and it's really tedious. Probably it's not doable to scan through all of those publications. So using such a system, we can get the most relevant publications for our research that can help to boost the development of our products. Another thing with the natural language processing is electronic medical records. Deep learning modeling of EMR, or in other words, electronic health records data, can predict future illness trajectories and medical outcomes, confidently predicting interventions and readmissions. There are also problems with that. So lack of interoperability across technology platforms over time, and massive expansion of structured and unstructured data elements. Another thing where AI is already being used, so from the patient's perspective, so as I mentioned before, there are 54% of America's status they didn't need AI-based system, and actually they have. So, for example, wearables. In 2016, based on artificial intelligence, artificial pancreas was approved by FDA. The device monitors blood sugar and supplies insulin automatically. So it basically replicates what a healthy version of the organ does on its own. And it's really the biggest step towards a new era in diabetes management in years. Also, digital contact blood glucose levels from tears. And they launched a pharmaceutical partnership with Novartis, but actually don't know where it's now, because there were rumors that they were launching trials in 2017. But you can see that wearables now they are not only pulse monitoring or activity monitoring. They are actually helping people in life with chronic diseases. Also, with AI-based systems, there are already apps that can help. They offer solutions that range from online consultations, as Babylon Health, to virtual nurse, where the interface uses machine learning to support patients with chronic conditions in between doctor's visit, to some kind of medical policeman with AI cure for monitoring whether patients are taking their medications for real. Also, with the consultations and personal assistance, Biome, it's the metabolome, not metabolome, but microbiome analysis that, based on diet and based on the analysis of microbiome, recommends foods and nutrients with the goal to heal the gut and keep people free from chronic conditions. So as you can see, there are a variety of solutions. In each of those solutions, actually, we are as the company. I will show you the company profile in a moment. That's just two slides. We are using Python here. There are also, of course, challenges. First and foremost, the biggest challenge is security and HIPAA compliance. For example, to be HIPAA compliant, there are about 100 individual checkboxes that you'll need to hit to be HIPAA compliant. But approximately 90% of them the requirements can be satisfied by having good engineering risk management practices and documenting them. But the most important thing is here is patient data. So the patient data is a really sensitive data, and it's really vital to address the security of the patient data to use it in medical section. And there is also the AI moral problem. So for example, the organ transplantation priority list. As it greatly facilitates finding the best matches, that the system deal with a situation that there is more than one best match in donor acceptor pair for transplant. And there is the question, will the system be capable of deciding who should receive an organ? Or will it be in the future still left for human to decide? So that's the question. There are more moral problems in life sciences to address. And at the end, who we are. So the company profile, we are bioinformatics and artificial intelligence deliver solutions for precision medicine. And we here have people that have background in molecular bioinformatics, but we also have data scientists, mathematicians, statisticians, and software engineers. We are, first of all, we have our R&D development unit, R&D unit that is developing new products that are machine learning based, and we are coding only in Python, Python and R. But we have also services unit, and we are working mainly with United States here. As you can see, we are using artificial intelligence, bioinformatics, software engineers to address omics problems in general. Some fun fact, we are attempting different types of challenges. Here is the example of Dream Challenge in biostatistics and machine learning, and we became second in the challenge, over beating, for example, Harvard and Stanford in sub-challenge 3, so prediction of phosphoprotein levels from mRNA genetic and proteomic data. We have also a fun doing what we do here at the company. And if some of you would like to join us, please do so. We have open positions for Python developers and data scientists. So thank you. That's all from my side. I don't know if there is a time for some questions. Hello?
Hello, is there any questions from? Hello?
Hello, hello?
Hello, is there any question? First question.
Okay, so in case of drug discovery, how do you approach validation of the results of your models? Because you obviously can't just create the drugs and test them with humans, right?
Well, actually, the validation of in the drug discovery, we were working on the real cases. So to teach and then validate the process, we received from the pharma company the data to check actually if that's okay. But now we are working with two pharma companies to validate more on the real data, so on the real cases, this approach.
Okay, and about the diagnostics, what do you think about the interpretability of the models that we build?
Could you repeat?
What's,
so in diagnostics,
what's your stance on the interpretability of the models that we build for diagnostics? Because the doctors usually don't understand what's going on in the neural networks that we build.
well, actually, in all those cases, everything should be validated in the laboratory. But it's the case. For example, I can describe it on the microbiome diagnostic. The process in laboratory is really long and tedious and costs a lot of money. And using those approaches, so machine learning based approach and so on, could speed up the process, the first process. Then it should be also validated in the laboratory, but it's only validation of a certain amount of data that is returned, not all of the data. So for example, in diagnostics, everything should be validated also afterwards by experts. So it's not like you trust fully like 100% of what the programs gives you. The experts validates that. And as far as those images are concerned, those everything that I showed here was firstly described by the experts, so the doctors, the pathologists, the oncologists, and then fed into the neural network. Probably in the future it won't be like 0-1 answer from the program. It probably would be like a probability of something that should be checked by doctors, but there's like the light in the tunnel. So there is the map given by the program that you can then follow, not the the whole world that you have to explore.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? We have next question.
Okay, so first question is, do any of the big pharma companies provide you with the data? Because you mentioned at the beginning on one of your slides that big challenge is to gather the data. So do they, I don't know, share any of this information or try to at least cooperate with you? Or?
Well, actually, with the pharmas, we are cooperating more or less on open data, but the data is open, but they are showing after signing the NDA document, they are showing you what data they would like to analyze. We think of the data are here gathering our own data sets in Poland. So we are now finalizing the documents with the subcontractors to get the data from clinics here in Poland. Other data from big pharma is, for example, they have a failed experiment and they do not want to investigate the molecule more, so they are not losing like money or anything like that. So they would like to test the approach and then apply it on their end. It's not like really easy to get the data from pharma. As you said, it's really hard to gather the data and it costs money. So we are working on open data or failed experiments, but we are also trying to establish a contracts where we would be able to have the access to maybe some of the experiments they have.
Okay, and second question is about, you mentioned of the use of neural networks in prediction of toxicity of the drug. But I'm not a biologist, but I'm guessing you cannot always predict, I don't know, for any drug, to what receptor it will bind. So how is it exactly working?
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, I don't know how it's really done. I've never done such a project. It was just the found example, but we have here cheminformatics that work on such problems. I think I have to ask them how it's done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other questions?
Well, if there are no more questions, I think that you can reach me also by email if you would like to get in touch, as I'm not able to be on your coffee break and to to talk with you.
Okay. Thank you, Kaja. We have
Okay.
coffee break. Have a nice day.